Ross is next on the block, and I'll tell you what, I really liked. Ross was right there in the middle with me. I really liked drafting in the middle on this draft. I felt like you never missed out on too much. I think the ends really kind of had a rough time going on some of the picks just because of the time that they had to wait. But Ross kept AJ Green, who I think is going to have a bounce back year. He didn't even have that bad of a year last year, but everybody's just kind of like, oh, he's old. Well, he came out the same year Julio did, and everybody's excited about Julio. So AJ Green is another great wide receiver. On top of that, you got Stephon Diggs, Chris Hogan, Cooper Kupp. All those guys can, interchangeably start. You'll feel good about any of those guys you're starting. And then you grab John Brown later. I talked about him already. John Brown could be the number one wide receiver for the Ravens. He's got the speed that Flacco likes, and he's been killing it in camp if he stays healthy. But once again, where you got him, it's a flyer anyway. Running back-wise, LaShawn McCoy. That offense is going to be so bad. Let's just hope he catches a lot of passes because he's not going to have a lot of room to run. They are going to put 8 in the box all day long on him. And you're really hoping that he doesn't get suspended at some point this season. Let's be honest, that can happen with all the stuff that's going on with him. Second running back he got is Alex Collins, a guy that's kind of boring. Nobody, he's got a boring name. Not a lot of people even know what team he plays for. The Ravens, by the way. But he did great last year. Was really good, and they didn't really go out and sign anybody. There's nobody really competing with him. You could say, hey, well, they got some young guys that have been injured and they're back. They're not going to take it from Alex Collins. They might still have Buck Allen doing some work, but Alex Collins is going to get all the goal line carries. So that's a solid number 2. Is he the most exciting number 2 out there? No. But he's a nice number 2 when your starting receivers are Stephon Diggs and A.J. Green. I'd be really happy with that number 2. He's the number 1 back. Trey Burton, you screwed up the whole draft, so you get an F. That's it. You get an F. Not really. I'm just really mad because I was going to take Trey Burton with the next pick. But you crashed the draft, not me, my friend. So you're to blame. So anyway, you've got Trey Burton. I think could be a top 5 tight end this year. And when push comes to shove out of tight ends, there was a grand total of 9 taken before him. So that's 4 people that screwed up, if your math is good. Then you got Tarik Cohen. I like to call him Turok Cohen, the dinosaur hunter. And Duke Johnson, PPR guys. If you're going to have a guy for a bye week, they're great PPR guys to always be involved every week. Then you grabbed Buck Allen, as I spoke about earlier. So you got the backup to Alex Collins in case something does happen, which is not bad. As far as quarterback, you waited. You got Ben Roethlisberger. Always seems to do pretty well. He's getting older, and if Le'Veon Bell doesn't play, Stu, that sucks, right? Then he's going to be hurting a little bit. But you also got Alex Smith. You grabbed George Kittle a little bit later, and got the Chargers defense, which could be the sleeper defense of the year because they are good. And we'll see what happens. I mean, they get to play Denver. They get to play Patrick Mahomes, basically, his first action twice this year. So, and they get to play the Raiders with John Gruden. So John Gruden's going to run it 100 times and not get any points. So you'll really like the Chargers defense this year. Overall, with the grade, I gave you let me look at my paper here, a B-. Like I said, I think your wide receiving core is great. The McCoy pick, when you had Jordan Howard still on the board, might end up coming back to hurt you, especially if he misses time. But he's also not exactly the most durable running back. And if he gets hurt, then your running back situation is going to be rough. Because Duke Johnson now has Jarvis Landry in town, so his catches are probably going to go down. Tarik Cohen, we're not really sure with the new offense how he's going to be featured. He could be, still explosive. But even last year, when he was super explosive and everybody was excited about him, he wasn't really fantasy relevant, and it was hard to tell when he was going to be. So he'd be a tough start every year. Every week, rather. But overall, I give you a B-. And I think that this team has the capability of making the playoffs, barring any big injuries. And if McCoy, if the Bills surprise us, great. But they also lost 4 offensive linemen this year. And they have Nathan Peterman starting, and then they have Josh Allen coming in at some point, probably week 3 this year. But he was running for his life in the final game of the preseason, got sacked 5 times in the first quarter or first half, something ridiculous. So we'll see how that comes out. But hopefully, like I said, If he catches a lot of passes, 80 balls this year, then you'll be fine with McCoy. But we'll see.